Hi, Internet Wanderer. It's me, Argonax. And we just hit 3,000 subscribers. Well, actually, we hit it a while back, but I've just been busy working on other videos and real life stuff that I guess I just didn't have the time to make this one, but I'm making it now. Sorry if it's a little delayed. 3,000 is ultimately not a lot, especially in the grand scheme of YouTube and in terms of like raw subscriber number, but that doesn't matter. I literally started from nothing, and I know that there would be many other smaller YouTubers who would just wish that they were in this position, and I'm thankful and lucky enough to be in this situation. I've been doing YouTube mostly on and off for almost 10 years, but when I say doing YouTube, I mean like uploading videos for almost 10 years. Many of these videos were mostly just me uploading footage of me playing a random game or slightly edited gameplay of me and my friends. It was mostly just done as an excuse to practice my editing skills, which granted haven't improved that much. But it wasn't until last year, almost exactly, that I finally decided to take YouTube seriously with my Return of Valve video. That was the first video I have ever made that I actually spent a lot of time script writing and planning out how the video would be. I actually learned how to use Adobe Premiere to make that video, which is also the same editor that I use now, and there's still a lot to learn, especially with a program as complicated as that, but it has definitely helped me streamline the process of making videos a lot quicker. That Return of Valve video was the product of 6 months of on and off again work. Granted, if I tallied up the amount of time I actually spent working on it, technically I could have finished that video in maybe less than 4 days if I added it all together, but real life stuff at the time. And at the time, my channel only had 10 subscribers. So the incentive to put all this effort into a high production video, well, high production is a relative term, I guess, but a high production video at the time with no guarantee of any return on investment and effort on my part was a tough sell. It didn't also help that that time last year I had a big international trip that I was gonna be gone for a month and a half, and the night before my flight I actually decided to buckle down and finish the last 25% of that video. I'm not sure if any of you have noticed, but the last quarter of that video, the editing feels a little rushed because, well, it was. But the video took off, and it got me my first 1,000 subscribers. And then, after that, it was just me uploading various other videos over the course of the 12 months, and I was able to get that 1,000 to 3,000, and here we are now. I won't dwell on this super long, so I just wanted to say thank you for everyone who has subscribed to my channel. I'm trying not to use a script for this because of course that would be very disingenuous. And who knows, maybe in the future, if I can make my videos with less reliance on a rigid script, maybe I can come off as more natural and whatnot. But regardless, thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the channel, and it's only going up from here. So I hope you stick around, and I guess the only thing I can do now is just answer some of the questions that you guys submitted. So about some time ago, I made a community post and some pinned comments in some of my videos saying that in this 3K celebration video, I'm going to do a little Q&A. And some of you asked questions, so I thought, sure, why not? Let's answer some of them, yeah? Let's see what we got here. Well, actually, this first set of responses here aren't actually questions. These are comments underneath my post that I made celebrating the fact that I hit 3K. And yeah, I recognize all of these commenters, and yeah, these guys have been supporting the things that I've been doing, and thank you to each and every single one of you. And especially thank you to I'm sorry if I can't pronounce that. The guy who has the propane tank for the profile picture. Thank you for correcting my math. I'm I'm not good at math. Yes, whatever percentage I wrote in the comment that is not correct, he's right. Okay. Also, before I go on to the questions, I just wanted to make two announcements. Number one, the channel now officially has channel memberships. I would go into more detail if I knew exactly what all of this stuff means. I'm still learning. But all I know is that it's like a Patreon thing, but it's not on Patreon, so they don't steal your money. Basically, you just like sign up for a membership, which grants me money, and it gets you guys like extra stuff. I'm still learning how all of this is done, but I do know for a fact that if I can get it all sorted, I can list all the channel members at the end of every video. So there's that. I know you guys get special emojis, which I did make a post about. I'm still working on everything. Please don't feel the need that please don't feel like I don't want you guys to do it unless you really want to. It's only there if you want to help support me. Honestly, you watching my videos and subscribing, liking, and all that stuff, that's more than enough. But if you wanted to just give me some extra support, I won't say no. And the other announcement is this coming Sunday, which is the October 27th. This coming Monday, which is October 28th, I am going to do a test stream on YouTube just to see if my streaming program can work, and I just wanted to see how it would look on the channel, basically. I have used OBS before to stream on Twitch. I'm not sure how seamless that would also be on YouTube. And yeah, I just wanted to announce it here in case you guys just wanted to, say hi. I'm gonna do it probably sometime in the evening, let's say anywhere between 7 p.m. onwards on Eastern Standard Time. I'm just gonna open up a stream and I don't know, play some games with my friends, I guess. And if you stop by and say hi in the chat, I could talk to some of my viewers if you're interested. Again, that's going to be a stream that's going to be a stream on October. Again, that's going to be me testing. Again, that's going to be me opening up my first YouTube stream. It's going to be a bit of a test on October 28th. I'm going to try to do it at 7 o'clock. If I miss that, it might happen a little later. Let's just say evening. October 28th evening. So stop by and say hi if you want to. Okay, so these are the first set of questions. So the first one is asked by Leche the Cat. They say, first, and congrats on the almost 3K subs. Well, I already hit it at the time. Will you be making more in-depth videos about each character in Deadlock? Will you be making another Kenshi video before Kenshi 2 comes out? And I know it's old, but will you be making a Red Dead Redemption 2 video? Well, for the in-depth video about Deadlock, I'm not sure yet. I know that a lot of other people have already made character guides and character breakdowns of the different characters in Deadlock. And maybe I will. There's this older Dota 2 content creator called Pyrian Flax, and he is known in the community back in the day for making these very simplistic guides to characters in Dota, but he drew everything in paint, and you'd usually tell tangents about the character. It's the best way I can describe it is, imagine if a British dad who doesn't really play the game a lot decided to make guides using paint for each character in Dota. And I was thinking maybe I can take the same approach and do something with Deadlock, like make purposely amateurish looking, well, everything I do is amateur, but even more amateurish looking guides and drawings and videos, and even like mimic the British accent to make a Deadlock guide for the different characters. I don't know, it's an idea. For the Kenshi 2, definitely. I love Kenshi. Kenshi is one of my most favorite open world Sims. I don't even know. It's one of my most favorite indie games, and I've sunk almost 1,000 hours into Kenshi 1. And if Kenshi 2 is anything like it, then I can see myself sinking thousands more into it. But all that really just depends whenever that stupid game comes out, I guess. And for Red Dead Redemption, maybe I might make a video. I love Red Dead Redemption, but in order to really like make a video about it, I would require me to play the game again, and I don't know if I have the time to do that, but we'll see. My next comment or question here comes from Basti9022. Insane progress on your YouTube. You need more recognition because of I can't read, I'm sorry. You need some more recognition because you have quality videos. Anyway, here are my questions. What is your Dota 2 MMR? Who is your favorite Dota 2 hero? And what do you do for a living? Another interesting one is, what will you do if your YouTube channel is successful? For my Dota 2 MMR, right now, I think I'm at, last I checked was 3.7k, I think. My rank right now, my medal, I think is Legend 3, maybe. But I haven't played Dota in months, and I don't know. I guess I don't have the drive to play it right now. Maybe at some point, if there's some interesting update or some event, I might play it again. In the past, my highest Dota rank was Ancient 7, and this was before when medals went all the way up to 7 stars. So, and I remember I was one game away from getting into Divine, but I guess I lost all of that. So yeah, my Dota rank is right now it's Legend 2 or 3, and my highest was Legend 7 or Legend 5 or whatever. What's my favorite Dota 2 hero? For back in the Dota 1 days, it was Dragonite, but that's just because he was really easy to use. And then in the early days of Dota 2, like 2012, 2013, 2014, it was Nyx Assassin. I loved playing Nyx Assassin. He was so easy to get kills with. And because a lot of people didn't know how to gank or didn't know how to counter gank, it was so easy to get kills. As time went on, I would flip-flop between different roles. At first, I insisted on playing mid, but I realized that my reaction time at mid was never really good enough, so I started playing carry, but then the pressure of playing carry was too much. Eventually, I just decided that I like playing strength heroes, so I became an off-lane player for the most part. And then my new favorite became Mars. Mars is probably my favorite Dota 2 hero. There was a time that because of the buffs that Dragonite got, especially with building him with Aghanim Scepter and Octarine Core, this was before the facet system, that he would be permanently in dragon form, and it was so busted. But I still enjoyed playing Mars more. So I guess right now my favorite Dota hero is Mars. And I guess I could give honorable mentions to Night Stalker, Necrophos, Clockwork, Darkseer, Axe, Wraith King, Sven, and Underlord. But for the most part, I can play most soft support position 4s and position 3s and 2s and some 1s. I'm not a good support player. What do you do for a living? Well, I don't really want to go into too much detail, but all I can say is that I work in a warehouse of a big company, and the pay is good, but the work is very boring. In fact, it is because the work is so boring that it kind of motivated me into finishing that Return of Val video that I made a year ago. In fact, most of my inspiration to make videos comes from how boring my job is. Usually I'm doing my work and a new topic or type of video idea or video concept will come into my head, and that's usually how the video gets started, because I'm so bored at work that as soon as I get home I'll start to make bullet points or start to write the script. So to answer your question, yes, I work in a very boring big company warehouse. I won't go into specifics, but yeah. Also, and you also asked, what will I do when my YouTube channel is successful? I mean, ultimately my goal, I guess, is if I can do this full time. If I can become fully sustainable and viable YouTuber who can make money off of YouTube, that would be a dream come true. Honestly, I love making content. I love making videos and expressing myself creatively, and to be paid for that is just the icing on top. So yeah, I guess I would want to be able to sustain myself and my family through YouTube. And if I can just do that in the future, then that would be what I would want to do. The next set of questions is asked by Rye Guy Burger Fry. Nice name. And he asks, and they ask, where do you see your YouTube channel? I cannot read. I keep adding words that aren't actually there. Where do you see your channel headed in the future? You have been making a lot of Deadlock content. Do you think that you'll keep that up, either following future news about it or possibly guides or commentary on the meta? Personally, I'd love to see your take on a tier list, or you could go gun item bebop only guide. Now, okay, full disclosure, I know who this guy is. In fact, I also know who Leche the cat is, but you didn't hear that from me. But to answer their question, where do you see my channel headed in the future? Well, similar to the previous question, is I would like to get my channel to a point where I can go full-time on this. That I no longer have to work in a monotonous job and make my own money my own way. I do still see myself making videos, video essays, commentaries and such, but I might integrate live streaming into my channel. Maybe I can start branching out and start covering movies and games and shows, but I don't watch enough of like shows and movies anymore to really give a proper review. Maybe it really depends. I guess it's maybe if I get to a point where I'm big enough that I don't have to work a regular job, I'll have more time to do those other things, and then I can cover them in my videos. So, you know, it's a snowballing effect of more time equals more content. There's a plane outside. It's okay. You've been making a lot of Deadlock content. Do you think you'll keep that up, either following future news about it or guides and commentary on the meta? Yeah, I definitely am going to make Deadlock content for sure. How, to what degree I'll be covering the game and the things around it, I'm not sure. I definitely think I don't have enough knowledge or honestly skill to make guides, but I can talk about, I prefer to talk about things like character design, as in like the visuals, or maybe lore, or the design of the game, the world, unique mechanics. I like to talk about the the big picture of the game, and not so much the minutia. I'd prefer to talk about characters' art styles and overall archetypes in the game, rather than like, ooh, this character got 1 point more into their spirit damage. This is how this is gonna change the meta. You know, I don't think I'm good enough at the game to do that. As for the other thing, I'd love to see your take on a tier list. Maybe. I was thinking about making some sort of tier list for Deadlock, but I always told myself that if I'm going to make tier lists, it's going to be something unexpected. this is a pet peeve of mine. I'm completely fine with watching other people's tier lists. Usually they'll be high-level players of the game and they'll make their own tier lists. And in that case, yes, that tier list has merit because these people are good at the game. So their skill means that this tier list has more backing, has more validity to it. I am a dumbass, so I don't think I have any say on a official tier list. So that's why if I was going to make a tier list, it's going to be like a joke tier list of, I don't know which Deadlock characters like, what food do they like the most or something like that, you know. And for that last question, you see, this is really interesting because Bebop is a character who I actually have been really thinking about, that the gun build could be very interesting. So the first thing I would do is on to the next question. This one was a comment underneath the pinned comment of one of my videos. In the video, I tell the viewer to say, hey, if you wanted to ask me a question, go ask it in the pinned comment below. And I guess as a pseudo bit or pseudo joke or whatever, I just said, my favorite color is blue. There's a freebie question answered for you. Then they asked, what's your second favorite color? Well, I guess magenta, or like, you'll see it on my avatar and like what I use for the generic background footage I use here. It's like that bright pinkish purple. Kind of like, I think Mace Windu's lightsaber. Yeah, that's well, I guess that's more pink. Well, it really depends on what version of the movies you're watching. But yeah, like that dark, deep, like almost ultraviolet style purple, and like deep blue, like ultramarine blue. Here are my favorite colors. And another question from Leche the Cat. I know who you are. I heard you're a WM fan. Any uploads of the clan soon? What they're referring to is MechWarrior, and they're referring to the newest game, MechWarrior Clans. Yeah, I might cover this game in the future. Right now, the game is, the performance is not very good. The game is not optimized, so I'm waiting for the patches to come out to get everything sorted, and then I'm gonna play the game from start to finish. Once that's done, I can make maybe like a small guide, maybe a short or whatever. It really depends. If the game is really, really good, I'll make a full-length video dedicated to it. But for now, no plans. It's not a priority. But I do love MechWarrior. MechWarrior has a special place in my heart. And maybe once I'm big enough, like a year or years down the line, if I can get my YouTube channel off the ground, I was thinking maybe I could make a super big production MechWarrior video essay, maybe, but we'll have to see. And for the last set of questions, which is also asked by Leche the Cat, thank you so much for all the support. There's a lot of questions here, so I'm just going to answer them as I say them. Which genre of video games do you lean towards the most? It really depends. I like multiplayer games. I have MOBAs. I guess it's just really MOBAs. I do enjoy fighting games now. Well, really just one game. It's Tekken. So I like MOBAs and Tekken and co-op games, like co-op multiplayer horror games especially. I think it's easier for me to list the games that I don't like. I don't like most competitive FPSs. I don't like most sports games, I guess. I'm not the biggest fan of cozy style games, although there are some exceptions. But no, I consume a lot of video games, so yeah. Which horror game is your favorite? Ooh, that's a tough one. If it has to be specifically horror, I would have to say Resident Evil 4. But it's kind of cheating because what I love about Resident Evil 4 isn't its horror aspect. So I love Resident Evil for the action. I guess I'll just give you some examples. I love Slender, the 8 pages. It's a simple game, but it got my it got my heart pounding when I played it as a kid. Other honorable mention goes to Amnesia. I loved playing Amnesia as a kid. I'll admit, when I played it by myself for the first time, I had a guide open on my phone the whole time, so I would know exactly what I had to do. Silent Hill on the PlayStation was terrifying. I loved Silent Hill. All the modern co-op horror games like Phasmophobia, Lethal Company, and recently the Backrooms game that I just made a video about. Yeah, I love them all. I'm sure I've played a lot of horror games that weren't very good, but I cannot say which one is my favorite. But for the sake of the answer, and I guess it is somewhat cheating, I'll just say Resident Evil 4. Do you like mecha games? Yes, I do. Although it's only really MechWarrior and sometimes Armored Core. I like the games to be slower, more immersive compared to like Gundams. I'm not. Yeah, just because they're robots doesn't automatically mean I'll like them. But for the most part, I do like mecha games. Do you play Soul-like games, and which one is your favorite? Dark Souls 3 is my favorite. I've only played Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring, and maybe it's just because I didn't have the time to play Elden Ring. I have almost 200 hours on it, but I never finished the game. I guess it's too big for its own good for my tastes, but because Dark Souls 3 is a lot more condensed and linear, that made it more enjoyable for me. Maybe if they added Bloodborne to PC, I'll play it. So for now, I'll just say Dark Souls 3. What games DLCs are you looking forward for next year? I don't actually know. There's not that many games coming out next year that I can really think of off the top of my head. I know GTA 6 is coming out, but that's not coming on PC, so I'm shit out of luck. Stalker, the new Stalker game, Stalker 2. I'll play that. When that comes out, that'll be fun. That will be fun. I will definitely play that. Will you be uploading anything VR related? Maybe. My computer right now is a little poopy, so playing VR and recording is a little too taxing for it. And maybe when I get an upgrade, I can start to branch out and do more VR related stuff. So yeah, definitely. When it happens, it will happen. Which Tekken game is your favorite and why? I have played Tekken 3, Tag, 5, 6, Tag 2, 7, and 8. And 8 is easily the best. Easily. I know a lot of people are complaining about microtransactions and balancing, but honestly, as a product, as a standalone product with everything that it offers to the player, Tekken 8 is the best experience and game in the franchise, and it's not even close. Not even close. Have you ever played League of Legends? And if yes, what would be your favorite character? I have played League of Legends, and my favorite is Swain. Easily, it's Swain. Without a question, it's Swain. I wish Swain was in Dota, honestly. He's so fucking cool. A close second would be Mordekaiser. I like Mordekaiser. Which character in Deadlock, in your opinion, is the most broken? And which ice cream flavor do you think they would be? I don't think any character is broken. I know, coming from the Bebop main, but doesn't matter, they've nerfed him to the ground by this point, but apparently people were saying it was Shiv, but he was nerfed. They did say it was 7, but he's been nerfed. Now, apparently, I've been hearing people complaining about Grey Talon because he's overtuned now. Honestly, it can be anyone. People just like to complain. I don't think any one character is broken. I just think maybe Pocket and Viscous, because they counter my bomb builds, but like, that's just me being countered. That's not because I don't think they're broken. That's just how it is. But yeah. Which favorite ice cream flavor do you think would be? I think everybody would be different versions of cookie dough. Yeah, just different versions. Like some of them, instead of chocolate chip cookies, it'll be like velvet cookies because they're fancy, and some of them will have like Oreos inside, or some of them will have sugar cookies, or I don't know. In your opinion, will Overwatch 2 and Valorant stand the test of time? Overwatch and Valorant have already established a legacy for themselves, so they're definitely going to be remembered as like juggernauts in the gaming industry, even like decades down the line. Difference is the legacy that they leave behind. Overwatch 2, or Overwatch in general, started off with a bang, and now they are just slowly dying out. It's really sad to see, and I would feel bad for them, but it's Blizzard, and I fucking hate Blizzard. I know. Give us back StarCraft and Warcraft, goddammit. And Valorant, however, on the other hand, they're doing fine. They're doing just fine. They're the only game that's really competing with Counter-Strike. So yeah, Valorant, unless Riot Games does something really bad, I don't see Valorant doing anything that would stop it from being a timeless masterpiece, which I'm not much of a Valorant player, but I do see the quality of the game, and I know that it has a huge player base. So yeah, I think it can be a certified GOAT of gaming. And same with Overwatch. Well, more Overwatch 1, not so much 2. And with that, I have answered the questions. Again, I just wanted to express my sincerest gratitude to everybody who has supported the channel. Thank you, really, all of you. I don't want to get overly sentimental, but everyone who subscribes and watches my stuff, it really means the world. Thank you. I don't really want to make another one of these unless I hit another big milestone. Maybe if I hit 10K, I'll make another one of these videos. But for now, it's back to the YouTube grind. So, thanks for watching, Internet Wanderer. My chair is squeaking. Do the YouTube. I'm not doing this for a bit. I just coughed up a ball of phlegm. Thanks for doing. Thank you for watching, Internet Wanderer. Do the YouTube thing.